Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Comes to you live from our comfy couch here in the outskirts of the internet. It's the Gaming Saloon Reviews for August 2nd, 2026. Materials, please Maker 2448 and ramp it up, Salon.
Hi.
We start a new thing.
Yay? Question mark?
We're back to Gundam, but this time it's a older show.
Again, yay? Question mark?
But yeah, we're starting our run through of G Gundam with the first 5. So it evens back out to 4 episodes every 2 weeks. That also helps cover basically our entire main cast. Yeah, it's 1 through 5. Couple quick notes. The show debuted April 1st, 1994. Our main writer is Fuyu Norigobu, and our main director is Yasuhiro Imagawa. So, any thoughts going into this?
Nah.
Which one are you watching, since I think I gave you had both?
The dub.
Okay, so we're both watching the dub.
Yep.
I believe it's a fairly faithful dub outside of 2 names, because the censors basically. We can't call the Dark Gundam the Devil Gundam, so it's now the Dark Gundam.
Huh.
And we can't call one later God Gundam, so now it's Burning Gundam, so. It's like we cannot have thing called the Devil and the God and called Devil and God in the show. No, change it. And it's like, well, fine. But yes, anything else before we hit recaps and like?
Nah.
All right. Episode 1, Gundam Fight begins, the Gundam that fell to Earth. I guess I'll go ahead and give the backstory, since we get that every episode after this.
Literally.
From our not one-eyed friend who wears an eye patch because he thinks that's cool. So 60 years ago, every country in the world took a big old landmass and a bunch of their landmarks and fucked off to space. After that, they decided we don't want to fight war with soldiers and Gundams and stuff, or in mass amounts of Gundams and people and all that. Instead, we're going to send our best guy to Earth in a Gundam, and they will fight on Earth, and whoever is last man standing gets to, like, control the world for like 4 years, basically. Or control space, basically, for 4 years.
Control space.
So every country is now Neo, the original name of that country, in this show.
Because we're that original.
Yep. Also, all of the Gundam designs are basic stereotype, especially with like the American one we'll get to in the second episode, because it's like, what do you think an American Gundam would be?
I think your internet was trying.
Great. Yay. Thanks, internet. Even though I'm not streaming anymore, you still want to be bleh.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, for this Gundam fight, our main protagonist, Domon Kashu, is representing Neo Japan, and in the Shining Gundam is accompanied by Rain. I forget her last name.
Which we don't give in any
we
of
do
the
not.
episodes, so apparently it doesn't matter.
Migamura. But yeah, Domon and Rain are our main characters, and basically the first 5 episodes can be described as Domon goes to country. Domon wishes to fight someone. Domon then proceeds to fight someone. Domon then asks them, look at this photograph. Do you know this man? That was my first immediate thought watching the show. It's just like, how many times can I get away with making that Nickelback joke?
Far too many.
So yeah, we're starting episode 1 in Neo, Italy, with their fighter, Mikleo Chariot, who does kicks and stuff and runs a gang and wants to just do gang shit because he don't give a fuck. He's in a Gundam. Who's gonna fight him? But Domon's here at a bar, asks someone to look at the photograph for information, gets nothing, tries to leave. Some kids are like pickpocket some like passed out people from being drunk and then get accosted by Chariot's crew. And then Domon proceeds to just chuck one guy out the window and then beats up the rest of them until the cops show up and arrest him. Which is basically just how Domon solves all his problems. Of just like, what if I punch my way out of this?
What if I punch my way out of this and then end up in jail?
Also, very common of him to just end up in jail.
Because I'm willing to bet that's also probably how he ended up becoming a Gundam fighter. Just because he got into some trouble.
Probably. I honestly do not know Domon's full backstory.
It feels like it was somewhat implied in one of the last 2 episodes, but it wasn't stated that way. And I'm like, oh, so this is just his shtick. Get thrown in jail and then solve problem.
Look, it doesn't matter how much I get beat up. I will just punch my way out of the problem. No one's going to kill me. I can fucking just catch bullets.
Literally.
Yep.
From multiple
so yeah, Domon gets. So Domon gets arrested. The cops interrogate him, be like, "Are you a Gundam fighter?" And Domon just doesn't give him shit because like he doesn't care. He's just like, I'm just in town. Can I be left alone? Rain eventually bails him out. This is where we do find out Domon is in fact a Gundam fighter and is here for the fight. The kids try to give him and Rain bread, and they try to like post up in an empty hotel that has evacuated because, well, folks know the Gundam fights happen, and no one wants to be in the vicinity of where a Gundam fight happens since they are building tall robots ready to just punch each other. But then Mikleo shows up with his Gundam, kidnaps one of the kids. But then the cops show up to like detain Domon in Rain, which lasts all of 5 seconds. Literally a cut. And Domon's already taken care of the cop, booked it, made it to the arena to show up for a fight he was not invited to.
Which is another thing he's good for doing.
Yep. And then proceeds to just beat the shit out of people and protect the kid from getting shot. Even though he's like, I don't do hero things. It's like, Domon, that's all you do. But yeah, that happens. Domon finally gets into the Shining Gundam. The 2 of them fight. Doa basically does the Shining Finger eventually after protecting the town for a bit. Hacks the other guy's Gundam to tell him to look at this photograph and be like, do you know this man? And he's like, oh, fine, I'm blowing up your head. That means you're out of the Gundam fight. Bye. because somehow everybody in the show can quote the rule book.
'Cause I guess to be a Gundam fighter, you have to have a photographic memory of the rule book.
Of the at least 7 rules that we have heard of over the course of these 5 episodes.
Yes.
Because Domon just literally quotes him as like, hey, if I blow up your head, you're done. Like, you're done. You're done with the Gundam fight. Like, I guess for the rest of the however long this competition goes. So fuck you, bye. Also, because this show is as subtle as a brick, the Earth is surrounded by ring ropes from the wrestling ring.
Yes.
If you can't tell, the show ain't fucking subtle. But yeah, Mikhail's arrested by the cops, so he's done. Rain sticks around to fix up Shining after that fight, and Delmon fucks off to our next location, which is America, in episode 2, Roar, the Certain Kill Punch Grasping Dreams. So we're in New York. We introduced to America's Gundam fighter, Chibity Crockett. That is not a dub name. That is his original ass fucking name. And his Gundam, the Maxter Gundam, which looks like a football player and can eject its shoulder pads and use those as boxing gloves. Because if America's known for anything, it is boxing and football, apparently. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, big parade for Chibity and stuff to show off. Domon's in town, at a bar again, asking for info, finds out about Chibity, finds out, oh, Chibity's going to be at a boxing match? Let me go sneak into the boxing match, knock out his opponent, pretend to be his opponent, fight him do the fight in person by starting to sucker punch him and then fight him for real and then challenge him to a Gundam fight and then fuck off.
Yep.
Domon, why? Like, I think you could have just sent him a notice. Did you have to show up and piss him off?
I mean, he wouldn't fight otherwise. Because
The
it's totally not what the point of the Gundam fights are.
But yeah, unfortunately for Domon, 2 CIA guys are like, we can't trust you to actually win this fight. We're going to rig it by telling Domon to go somewhere else and then murder him. Which fails. Because Domon can handle them. And also Chibity shows up after Rain finds out about this and is like, hey, Chibity, what the fuck? Your baits who got whammy told us the wrong place. And he's like, those fucking CIA bastards, I'm gonna go fucking murder them. And I do believe Domon and Chibity do kill the both of them. Because they're in robots that are not Gundams and they blow up and I did not see either of them eject. And they were not at the end of the episode, were they?
I don't believe so.
Okay, good. So Domon and Chibity just murdered people this week. Good job.
I mean, they're the good guys. They can do that.
It's fine. It's all legal, I guess. I mean, who's going to like take them in for it? I guess at this point.
I mean, that too.
Yeah. So yeah, now Domon and Chibity fight. They have at it. Domon overcomes Chibity's punches, manages to, I think he breaks one of Maxter's arms, wins the fight, but does not destroy the head and tells Chibity, hey, you could still go fight even though I won. Like, you're not out. And Chibity's like, all right, fine, I'll go fight some more people. I'll meet you in the finals.
Because, yes, that's the thing.
Yep. which then basically Domon leaves again. We're off to our next location, which is Neo China, or just China, not Neo China. China for episode 3, defeated Devil God Dragon Gundam.
No, I think they called it Neo China.
Okay. I know Neo China was like, what if we took up, like, excavated the entire Great Wall and then had it be like a ring, basically, around Neo China? Because, like, Neo America's like, what if we dug up Mount Rushmore and the Statue of Liberty and had it on ours, but we still left a fake Statue of Liberty so Jomon could blow it up to enter the fight with Shining? For some reason, Domon's like, where can I hide the Shining Gundam? I know, in the Statue of Liberty. How the fuck did you get it in there? Sir?
Very carefully.
Yeah. So, Sai Chi and the Dragon Gundam are our opponents this week. Eventually, basically, the entire episode is Domon trying to get to who he thinks is Sai Chi with the Dragon Gundam, as said Gundam is used by a gang to attack people because, oops, Sai Chi and the Dragon Gundam got separated when they got sent to Earth, and he's been trying to get it back. And so he plays Domon the fool until he could just get it back, because I guess he left the keys in it? But yeah, basically that's the episode. It's just Domon gets dragged around by Sai Chi until he falls into the gang, gets captured, escapes, distracts the gang so Sai Chi can get the Dragon Gundam back. And then the two of them fight to a draw, basically. So they almost took each other's heads off. And they're like, fine, it's a draw. And then they go their separate ways. Also, Rain gets not held hostage by two monk friends of Sai Chi, because they're too polite to be doing this.
Yes.
It was the most, like, easily surmisable episode, I think, of the batch. So, any thoughts a little over halfway through? Not the best first 3 episodes we've had for a show.
Yeah. That coupled with, it almost feels like you watch the first one, you have the formula for what the show's doing.
Yeah.
And
then it's that.
Yeah.
It's that for 4 more episodes, as they're like, here's your other 4 main Gundam pilots that you're going to have to care about for the rest of the show if you didn't look at the poster or bits of the opening. Because spoilers, these other 4 are important, except for the Neo Italy guy. Fuck him. He sucks. He's just here so Domon can show off. And also so Domon can have a win, since he's 1-4-0 at the end of these episodes.
No.
Or no, 3-0.
Okay, then 3-0, because he killed the nameless smug too.
Oh right, yeah. Oh right, he does kill this in this exact next episode. Right,
yeah.
He just murders this shapeless smug just because he's like, hey, I got the signal first. I want to fight Mr. Frenchman, and Mr. Frenchman's like, wait your fucking turn.
To which he was like, okay, now it's my turn.
Hang on, I will deal with this nameless scrub from what even is his country? Because I don't even remember.
I don't either.
What the notes even say? No, Neo Cuba. It's Neo Cuban Gundam. I guess anything else before we hit the back end?
No.
Episode 4, Challenge the Red Rose Knight. Speaking of the exact thing we were talking about, we're off to Paris for Neo France's fighter, George Desand, in his Rose Gundam. He's fighting Neo Cuban's fighter until Dobot shows up and is like, "Oi, fight me first." And he's like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, you're fighting him first? Okay." Then takes his head off with a sword from behind and is just like, "All right, cool. Now you got to fight me." And George just is like, "I ain't got time for this," and just fucks off and leaves. It's like, "I ain't fighting you. No." And then for the rest of the episode, the Princess of Neo France, I forget her name. What the hell is her name? Maria. Princess Maria, who has a thing for George. And I also don't know the age of either character in this, so I don't know how to feel about her desperately wanting his rapier. But like, she wants him and for him to fight for her. And he, by the end of the episode, he's just like, "Well, I fight for country and that's technically you, so does that count?" And I'm like, good to know every fighter in this cast is a bit stupid with this. But yeah, eventually Maria concocts a plan to fake a kidnapping by Domon and talks Domon into this, much to Rain going, "This is a stupid idea," and then gets locked in the bathroom for saying that this is a stupid idea. And I do like that she gets there later and is just like, "Hey, I cannot untie you from this tree that Domon tied you to because somebody's trying too hard, and this would have been a bad idea." But this gets George to fight Domon, because I do appreciate that a letter got left for George saying, "Hey, come here, fight me, or else something happens to Maria." And it's written in French. And that's the tip off for George later that, like, he couldn't have done this. That man don't know French. So the two of them fight. It's eventually a draw in the sword fight. And strangely enough, I think this is the only episode Domon does not ask anybody about the photograph. Because he doesn't ask George about it. At least not on screen. Unless I'm wrong.
You're right, I don't think he did.
I
don't think he asked anyone to look at that photograph.
Yep. But yeah, Domon and Rain leave for Neo Russia, which was set up early in the episode because Domon's boss, that I forget the name of, told him, "Why are you in France? Go fucking fight the guy in Russia. He's more important." And Domon's like, "No, I want to fight the Frenchie." Also, oops, I forgot to say that. Put that as episode 5 in the notes. So, last episode, episode 5, Great Escape, a captive Gundam fighter. We're in Neo Russia, where Rain is. We open with Rain looking for Domon because she's in this small town in Russia, being like, "Hey, has anyone seen Domon? Seen this guy?" And everyone's like, "Oh." Even though his car, which is part of his Gundam, is like parked out in the snow. We find out that Domon showed up, got arrested, not of his own accord this time, and thrown in jail because Russia's plan to win the Gundam fight is lock up anybody who shows up for the Gundam fight and then just go, "We don't know where they went. They're totally not in this random prison where we also are taking apart everybody's Gundams for tech and shit. Nope. We don't know where they went. They must have just wandered away." So Domon's trying to escape. He eventually gets captured again, thanks to the efforts of... I forget his name, even though he's important. Argo. And in his cell, he's bunked up with some other guy that basically for the entire episode, you're made to believe that this guy is like in with the Russian government and trying to get Domon to just give up fighting. Spoilers, it's not him. Although they try real hard.
Yeah.
But eventually at like lunch and finding out about what's going on with the other fighters, Gundams and stuff, Domon just fights Argo because he's like, you! It just slugs him and then starts fighting him and just tries to like get out of jail with a gun and almost gets sniped, but Argo saves him. But that leads to Argo eventually going, hey, you want to get out of here to Domon? Domon's like, hey, can I take this guy with me? And he's like, fucking sure. And Argo proceeds to just break a wall, pull a fuel pipe, and goes, we're gonna just blow some shit up and run. So they escape on the frozen lake with the hover car. Rain's inbound to them with the core lander. This is when we find out that actually Argo's with the Russian government because he made a deal to protect his gang. So he's Russia's fighter and he's got a bomb strapped to his chest, which the suit does not go over when they put the suit on because they have to be naked to put on the suit to control the Gundam. And I guess it just goes up and under the bomb.
Apparently. Somehow.
Yep. So Domon and Argo fight for a bit. It ends in a draw because they basically just beat each other half unconscious. Domon asks like Rando to look at the photograph. He knows nothing. And thus we are out of locations because they had all the locations we've been so far on the back of the photograph. And Domon's like, well, shit, I'm out of leads now. Fuck. And that's our 5 episodes. How do you feel about this back end?
About the same as the front half.
Yeah. I kind of wish, based off the episode preview, that maybe next week's episode was in this batch. Because it seems like next week's episode is the backstory episode of like, hey, this is Domon's deal. This is why he's asking everybody to look at this photograph. Maybe this should have been in the first 5 instead of episode 6. But
or,
that's
you know,
just
maybe in the first episode.
Yeah, maybe mix that in because we have no idea why he's asking people to look at this photograph. It's just a picture of just some guy as far as we know. Well, half a picture involving some guy, so we have no idea. I know, but I have future knowledge of the series. So where we are in the show right now, we have no idea who the fuck this is. Presumably we'll know hopefully through episode 6, because I assume that's the backstory episode off the preview. But yeah, how hopeful are we that we'll be able to see the show through?
It depends.
If the show picks up.
Yeah.
I feel like it will kind of. I think the problem is that I think the early part of the show is very much this format we've got for these first 5 of Domon goes somewhere, runs into fighter, finds reason to fight fighter, they fight, Domon wins or draws. We go about our separate ways on to next country.
And we really
Like
have no real reason on him moving as around the different areas is the problem. Because, yeah, we've got the Gundam fights.
Mm-hmm.
That does not necessarily mean that he has to go to all these places, because otherwise, why aren't the others going to other places?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you can't really use that as the, oh, well, that's why he's going to these places.
Mm-hmm.
That
there doesn't seem to be
that's why I'm like, I feel like we probably need his backstory like early.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a rule of like, hey, if two Gundam fighters cross each other, you got to go fucking duke it out, like regardless of context. Like, no, you go fight him. Because like we've seen a couple times, it's just like, ah, yeah, so George is like, yeah, no, I ain't gonna fight Domon, and even his Domon's boss is like, why are you in France? Go Russia, go fight Russia's fighter. So yeah, here's hoping. But I guess anything else?
No.
All right, in 2 weeks, we'll be back with 4 more episodes. But between now and then, Thursday, more Sparks of Hope. Friday, we are back to Tales from the Cube with Pokemon. We're going to steal Pokemon.
We're going to commit the theft.
We're going to commit a lot of theft if the catch rate cooperates with us. That's the other thing. That's the fun downside of Pokemon Coliseum. If the catch rate doesn't cooperate, well, too bad. You don't get to catch that Pokemon, and that was your only shot. I wish I was kidding. Saturday will be something.
Yeah, I have no idea yet.
And then next Sunday will be TGS, where we will talk about stuff. I don't want to bang on about Sony and Microsoft being irreparably stupid, but we might. Depends on what happens. Yeah. But yeah, between now and then, if you like what you see, and drop a follow, really appreciate it. Exclamation point YouTube and chat, YouTube archive for this and all our other streams. Exclamation point social and chat gets handles for our social media. Exclamation point Discord and chat. This is like drop by, say hi. See you Thursday, folks.